Welcome back. We're spending time this morning with Todd Lamb, Oklahoma's Lieutenant Governor. We were finishing up talking about your first run for statewide office, and the point about visiting all 77 counties came up, and that is something unique I wanted to talk about. Why is that important to you? You've kind of made it a mission to get around to every county as much as you can. Why is that?
Well, there are a few reasons. Just generally speaking, I mentioned where I was born. I was born in Enid. My dad was born in Canute. My mom was born in Billings. My wife was born in Ada. That's rural Oklahoma, right? Or non-metropolitan Oklahoma when you talk about Enid. Now, our metropolitan areas are very, very important, but we have 77 counties in our state. They're all equally important because our citizens live all throughout. That's the general reason. Specifically, accessibility. I want to be accessible to the people, and accountability. There's things I say that I want to do and I want to work on. I want to be accountable of the things that I've talked about either during the campaign season or in the last year. Also with that accountability, I want to hear what's on the hearts and the minds of our citizens where they live, where they work, where they worship, and where their kids go to school. I'm happy to host a meeting at the state capitol, but I like going to the communities, the towns, the cafes, the diners, the banks, the career techs, et cetera, in those communities to see what's going on there.
Well, the voters rewarded you. Last month, all 77 counties voted for you. You carried all 77. In fact, received the largest number of support from the Oklahoma voter out of anyone on the statewide ballot. What does that mean to you personally from where you've come from to where you are now?
Michael, I was really humbled by it, honored by it. Of course, we were excited about it. I mean, if I just said, oh, shucks, and just kicked the dirt, it really meant a lot. We've worked hard. My wife knows I've worked hard because there have been a lot of hours away from the house. But it was rewarding. I don't just mean that pridefully, but because of the team effort and the things that we've worked on with citizens, with the legislators that they represent. I talked about workers' comp and some other things that we've worked on the time I've been in office. But it's also rewarding because the entire state is so important to me, and that I make the effort to go to every county every year. We didn't think we carried every county. We didn't know for sure, but it was nice icing on the cake election night.
So why do you think that is? I mean, you received the highest percentage vote total and the largest number of votes. I mean, 7 out of every 10 Oklahomans essentially that went to the polls and voted to reelect you. And there are a lot of strong campaigns. It was a strong Republican year. But why do you think it is that Todd Lamb got the biggest boost?
Well, honestly, I don't know. But if you find out, if somebody knows, let me know and put it in a bottle, kind of mix it around and maybe use it for the future. But like I said, we were just humbled by it. We haven't done a lot of dissection and really looking at the numbers and try to figure out why. But hopefully it's because people, these voters, like what we've done, like what I stand for, like that I'm a family man. They like that I support small business, and they like that I try to be very accessible and accountable to the entire state. And I know how to get to Hollis without a map. I mean, the fact that I've been around every county every year, I believe that message resonates. And it's not just the point of getting a dip cone at the Dairy Queen in Boise City. It's a town hall meeting in Boise City. It's a town hall meeting in Tulsa, a town hall meeting in Oklahoma City. I spend time where I go. It's not just to drive through, get a limeade, take a picture, I've been here. I try to spend time with people.
So when you're not traveling the state, be it for your service as lieutenant governor or during a campaign, what are you doing?
Spending time with the family. That's a priority. Even if I have maybe a 3-hour window during the day, I don't live too far from the Capitol. I'll try to swing by the school. I'll try to swing by the house, meet the family for just briefly, spend some time with them, have a meal, and then I'll go out and about if there's that 3-hour window. But it's family time. Church every Sunday. I'm a Sunday school teacher and a deacon at Quail Springs Baptist Church. We're regular attenders there. Our kids are plugged in with the children's program and the youth program. But for me, it's about family. If I'm not working, my enjoyment is with my family, and that could be coaching Little League, spending time with my daughter, hunting, fishing. I like being outside.
So we started off this conversation, and before you even went to the public service and the role as an executive for the state of Oklahoma, you talked about being family man, and so I want to ask you about the role of a father. How do you juggle and balance that out, being a father, but yet the demands of being an executive for a state in this nation?
Well, it's priority, Michael. I'm not trying to make it too simple, but it's just the absolute priority. Maybe one example I can share is when we go to a football game, a college football game, I sit with my son. Now, my daughter, she's 11. She's gone to a couple games with us. She's not really excited about it, quite frankly. So I'm not trying to leave her out, but I'm using an example of a college football game. I sit and cheer. I'm with Griffin. You know, we're watching the game together as father, son, and two fans. I'm not there to shake a lot of hands. I'll say hi to somebody if they want to talk about something, but that's an example of it could be a very public setting to shake hands and to backslap. I'll do it on the way to my seat. I'll do it on my way to concession, on my way back to my seat, but I'm there to watch a game and spend time with my son. Likewise, last night we went out to dinner. We talked on the phone before dinner and after dinner. When I was at dinner, it was just dinner with the family.
Of your time of public service, you've been involved in some pretty big public policy issues, whether it was lawsuit reform when you were in the state Senate or the issue of workers' compensation reform, education reform, things that you've gone all over the state with. What have been some of the major issues that you've dealt with, and what do you see as the pressing issues for the state moving forward?
Well, moving forward, we always hear about education. And I think particularly with this last election cycle, having the state superintendent of public instruction being defeated in a very hotly contested primary, that individual, Joy Hoffmeister, actually won in November. So having a new superintendent of public instruction will be a point for a lot of education discussion, debate, reform this coming session. And you marry that with tax cuts. I think you'll hear a lot about tax cuts this coming session. Every government, any government, I've said many times, federal, state, local, every meeting should begin with this question. Every meeting, I think, should begin, either in the mind or spoken rhetorically. How can we be extremely efficient so the people we serve can keep more of the money they earn? There are no, not to be glib here or try to be cute, there are no money trees at the state capitol. You can't go and pluck a 20, you can't go and pluck 100. This money comes from somewhere. It comes from the people of Oklahoma. How can we be extremely efficient so the people can keep more of the money they earn and work hard for? I think tax cuts and unemployment comp and some other issues, but those are some big ones.
When we come back, we'll do the lightning round. You ready for this?
We'll find out. I hope I am.
Folks, we'll be right back with Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb and the lightning round right after these messages.